Hello YouTube, I'm going to make a video here. I want to talk about Milo Yiannopoulos' resignation speech. I just listened to it. He resigned from Breitbart because of the mass hysteria the fake news media was putting out about him supposedly supporting pedophilia, which everyone in their right mind knows that Milo would never do, even though Milo is very controversial and says things that I wouldn't say. I support him because he fights for truth, he fights for freedom of press, freedom of speech, and freedom of real free press, not the fake news media, not the corporate bought and paid for George Soros shills that advocate slavery and anti-Americanism. But I hate to see that happen because it put blood in the water. It gave the fake news media another scalp. Now they're very aware that they have they're having an effect. They're very aware that they're able to influence weak people on the right's opinion. Because these weak people, there's a few people on the right, and actually Sticks, Hex, and Hammer, which is advocates for the right. He says he's not conservative. He is in a lot of ways. He even attacked Milo because he says he always thought Milo was creepy. Yeah, Milo's weird. He's not creepy. He's weird because he was molested as a kid, had a bad childhood, and he makes jokes to cover it up. But he advocates for what's right. And David Knight on InfoWars, he put a tweet out that I didn't agree with, saying basically, why are you defending Milo when you wouldn't do it for the left, and we're not going to have a double standard. Well, he's an idealist, and Milo, everyone knows that Milo would never advocate for pedophilia. It's ridiculous. We can't turn on our own. The left would never do that. They never turn on their own. We can't do it. We back our people to the hilt. For one thing, our people are seldom wrong, but when they're wrong, that's fine. We can admit they're wrong, but we don't throw them to the wolves. We have to continue every day to be on Twitter, putting out content, fighting back, because this is a desperate situation. This is a desperate time. This whole Swedish thing, where the Swedish incident, where supposedly never happened, now we find out, of course, what Trump was referring to, which was Tucker Carlson's show where he was talking about it the night before, and that's what he was referring to. But now we find out that last night Sweden had massive riots, burning of buildings, cars, pillaging, raping, killing, and which happens every other day in Sweden. Sweden is a serious problem, and the good thing about what Trump said, it's bringing Sweden to the forefront. And I heard a guy on Fox News says, good, now you've brought it to the forefront, and we're going to find out what's going on there. So we're going to hear a lot about Sweden in the next couple weeks, which is good. Sweden is a very small country, 10 million people, and they have probably well over 1 million Muslims there. So it's 10-to-1 odds. The Swedish people tend to be very pacifistic and don't fight back, very fearful people. They don't want to be called racist. Their government is very cowardly, will not stand up for them. When Peter Springer came out a couple weeks ago and talked about how there was a big Muslim problem, he listed the 10 calls he had been on that day, the 10 calls that he had responded to. 9 of them were Muslim. Radical Muslim rapes, mostly rapes. All rapes except like 2 or 3 of them were extortion, identity theft, I think, and a few things like that. But we get back to the issue. The issue is, as we've talked about this lately, and everyone's aware of the fact that Twitter is censoring Trump's account and other people's accounts too, but especially Trump's. If you go to, whenever he tweets, if you go to the responses, you'll see that it's about 6 or 7 people who massively tweet 10 to 20 tweets a second, so fast that no one can get in between them. They're just rows of them, and every one of them has 12, 15, 1,800 likes and retweets. I mean, within seconds. It's impossible to happen in real life. So we know there's a problem there. And I keep telling everyone, keep going there, keep fighting back. We don't back down now. We fight back every single day. We have to do this. We have to become aware. We have to speak out. We cannot allow Twitter. Twitter is not a private company. They're a public company that is just as liable as some bakery who gets sued for not baking a cake for a gay couple. They are censoring conservatives. They're liable. We have the edge. We are in the right. They can't do that. So, and also Alex Jones, I heard today, ad companies have dropped him this conglomerate of some sort. I'm not quite sure because I haven't done enough research on that yet, but he's losing $3.5 million a year in revenue. That's serious. That's a lot of money. So censorship's what they're working on right now. We're going to see more attacks. We'll probably see 2 or 3 more major figures on the right being totally shut down or lose their jobs in the next week or two, because that's what they're working on right now. That's what they're having success with, and they're going to keep working that angle. So we need to be aware, fight back, and keep going from here. That's it. See you soon.